So, you know, this isn't a typical video where we just want to say, like, if you have low self-esteem, don't, because we all struggle with it. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's just a real confession of really overcoming something that anyone can be privy to.
Right. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is kind of a different video today. As you can see, it's not just me. I am here with my lovely friend Najat. And we're gonna be talking about some different things. You guys know me as Lauren Lux. I show you fashion styles and lots of clothes and things like that on Instagram, as well as talking about it here. But today I actually want to talk about something a little bit different. So I've actually taken a little bit of a kind of a break from social media a little bit, just to reflect on some things and, you know, figure out other content that I want to share. So we're gonna pretty much kick that off today in this video. So first, in addition to introducing Najat, one of my really close friends, we are both wearing little fashion, okay?
Local women, supporting women.
Yes, supporting women that are local.
Yes.
That have clothing lines, and you guys may have seen this actually already on my Instagram, but my shirt says my authenticity is my rebellion, which I love.
And she didn't even plan to wear that. I came over and I was like, you need to wear this.
This was like my cozy outfit, and she was like, no, this is it.
Yes.
So graphic tees.
Yes, because I purposefully wore Women's Touch apparel, which you have to check this out. I'm gonna stand up for a second.
Okay.
Yes, high heels only.
Yes, we love that.
Which I wore my heels but kicked them off.
Yes, they're very cute
today.
actually.
But this is from Women's Touch Apparel, Arizona line.
Yeah.
Check them out.
So basically I wanted to bring you here because not only are we really good friends, but Najat actually said something to me about my blog and my blog name that I was like, wow, like that actually really resonates with me and is something that I want to explore a little bit more. So as you guys know, my blog is lookingforlux.com and my Instagram name is Lauren Lux. So that really just came from me loving luxe things, and for me that was anything that was just beautiful or a little bit extra, not always expensive like luxury, but just all of those things. Glitter, hence my pillows.
Oh yeah.
And all kinds of other things like that. So I guess I should just let you tell me what you kind of came up with and shared with me.
Okay, so I've known Lauren since high school. So before social media, I got a real introduction to her. And it was one of those inklings. One day I was kind of having a bad day and I was just thinking about all the things that I just constantly think about on repeat, and she's always on repeat in my head. Things that she does is so cool. And I had an inkling that I should just send this text. I don't know how crazy it was gonna sound, but I was like, you know what, your meaning behind your name, Looking for Lux, is not as simple as it sounds. Like, yeah, we want luxury items and we want to buy things, but I think that there's a hidden message that it's actually look in for lugs, because I looked up one day that the like the actual meaning of lugs, like the root word it comes from actually means like light, and it's related to words like lucky, you know, luxury obviously, but it ties back to some like root word of like luck and light.
And I was actually blown away because
I do that.
Yeah, it was a beautiful text message, and I saved it actually because I was like, okay, I really, yeah, I did. And I really wanted to incorporate that, because although like the things that I talk about are all things that are important to me, they're kind of things that are just important to me on the surface level. I realize that the things that are really, really important to me and that I am very passionate about and talking about, I typically save for intimate conversations, like conversations that we have, or things I have with my friends or family or things like that. So I wanted to bring a little bit more of that to share with you guys, and that's something that I've always actually done, is like looking in to myself for light, so that like I can actually bring out that light. And a lot of that comes from my faith, a lot of that comes from just having strength within myself. And so the fact that she like thought of that, and that was not the original intention of where the name came from, made me feel like it was very purposeful and for something more. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on here, was because you are going to be a huge part of like where my journey will go next. And I also wanted us to talk a little bit about social media and some things like that, because I was sharing with Najat that I was kind of inspired, or I don't even know if that's really the word, but like touched by a few songs that I heard, which are on the totally different ends of the spectrum. One that I told you was Beyonce's song Pretty Hurts. So I've heard that song before, but for whatever reason I thought to listen to it. I can't remember why, but there's just a lot of things have all been coming at once. So I was listening to that, and I'm sure that you guys probably have heard the song. If you haven't, I'll link the details below and you can listen to it. But you've heard the song. Yes. Right?
Absolutely heard it.
And the song basically spoke to me as like exactly what it says. You know, unfortunately, pretty or things that are beautiful, or like just the presentation of sometimes perfection, hurts other people. And I'd like to get your take on the song just because you've also heard it. But that was what it really said to me. And I was just like, we had an intimate conversation that I'd like you to share some of that with everyone else about something similar. And I never really thought about that as far as the way that I might display myself or talking about things or showing things about my life. And yeah, it just made me think differently.
Yes, so I can definitely speak to knowing Lauren before she made her debut on social media, which I'm so glad she has in such a big way.
Thanks.
And bigger things are coming. But I just feel like with the song Pretty Hurts, it's a great way to start out this video. If you haven't heard it, I suggest that you look up the lyrics. We're going to link the videos. She's going to link the videos below. But just this idea that we can choose to look at people who are displaying their gifts and their talents and whatever luxuries they found in life and just think that that's the end of the story, like they've arrived. And then with that assumption that they've arrived, obviously you feel like you're on top of the world because you're telling us you're on top of the world. Whether or not she's really saying that, we don't know. But if we take it that way, that just opens up a big can of worms. And Pretty Hurts not only the person that is like seemingly on the pedestal, but the people who want to somehow sit back and think that, okay, yeah, that person is on the pedestal, and you know, unintentionally or intentionally, which I know it's unintentional with this young lady. There's just a lot to unpack when you're looking at someone's life via social media. And because you're starting your platform, you're at the beginning stages of wherever this ride's going to take you. I think I'm a great person to help bear witness to what you're actually seeking to do with social media. So.
And I love that. And I shared that with Najat about that song, along with another song that I really hope that you guys watch to the end of this video, and I will have a clip of it. But it's a beautiful song by Jonathan McReynolds, who is a gospel artist, and it's called Comparison Kills. And it's just a perfect song. I would love, if you want, you could just pause and like go listen to it and come back. But basically it just really made me think that I never want to join in or participate in making anyone else feel, even if it's unintentional, that they should compare themselves to someone else. Like, I never really thought about that when I was on social media or anything like that. Like, I mean, I think we all do it naturally, but I never thought of myself as someone that people might do that and feel a certain kind of way. So I think it's important to be able to feel free and share the things that make you happy and share the happy moments of your life. But a lot of what you don't see is the process and the in-betweens or the ups and downs, because I mean, who really wants to share bad news?
It's like that quote with, it's like you see the highlight reel and you don't see behind the scenes.
Yes, exactly.
And some people are engaging in the form of social media, not even knowing that them doing it in the highlight reel way is coming off a certain way to other people.
Correct. And this is just all something that's been coming to me recently because of so many things I've seen. I mean, obviously you guys know about Kate Spade and like other people that like people look at as they are so happy or like have so much success, and obviously they're not happy in their own lives. And actually, even while I was wanting to do this video and thinking about these things, like 3 different, I don't want to say celebrity, but like social media celebrity couples broke up recently. And I don't really follow it, but it just kind of came up just with me being on YouTube or Instagram, and I looked into it because I was reading some of the comments that people were saying, and people were like, if this relationship didn't survive, like, I'll never have a relationship, like, there's no real love. I was just shocked at the responses of people and what they were thinking and how it made them feel and how invested they were in the perfect pictures that they saw. And I just really wanted to take some time and talk about this. And
it's an important issue. And it's only right because if you're gonna use this platform, you know, you want to let people know, the people that care to know, that you're using it in the right way. Like,
absolutely. That's one thing I really want to make clear is like why I'm doing what I'm doing, most of which is a lot of just fun and things like that and just me wanting to share them, but there's definitely like purpose behind it that I feel like hasn't really been revealed, and so we're gonna start that journey a little bit.
So a little bit about myself. I'm a Phoenix resident, and so Lauren and I kind of just hang out. We do our Phoenix thing, you know, trying to get the best of life here in Phoenix. And I've known her for over a decade. We met in like 2004, sophomore year in high school, right? Didn't really like make a big impression on each other because we were just introduced randomly one day after school to each other. And then as I started to get around her, just automatically first impression is like, this girl is like a positive person. She comes off like a role model to some of her peers, and she came off that way to me. And I just had a really positive just impression of her. And then as time goes on, well, that was me when I was 15. You know, we didn't really get too close in high school, different schedules and everything. Kind of mingled with the same social group, but I wasn't really in the same social group all the time at the same times that she was. Then we get to college. So college, obviously, we went our separate ways. I went to one campus of the same college. She went to another. We just never crossed paths. And my impression started to change because I was only able to engage with her through social media. And she used it in such a different way than I did. First of all, social media was new. We were together on MySpace, like, which is like non-extinct.
Like, this is way before like I was even thinking about using social media as like, oh, blogging or Insta blogging or any of those things. So
she naturally was that girl, like she just loved photos even before social media. She loved taking pictures of everybody. She wanted to be a photographer, has great photography skills.
May or may not have shared that before. That I used to actually do photography for a very long time.
But what's cool is I'm like the voice for like a lot of us who may like look at people on Instagram or Facebook and like start to think a certain way just based on the way that their pages come across. Because back then I was in college trying to find myself, and it was like every other day this girl's like, oh, you know, it's Valentine's Day, my boyfriend brought me this, and it's like, oh, Christmas, we're gonna go like see lights with the family and look picture perfect, and it's like, oh, Thanksgiving, I'm gonna wear like the perfect sweater, and it's like, meanwhile I'm over here like not planning anything for myself, just trying to keep my grades up, because I always thought a perfect life was work hard, get good grades, go to college, and then you'll be happy. And I'm like just looking, and I'm like, you know what? Eventually, all I was doing was logging on to see like what's going on in her life, because it's so great over there, and like I'm over here just like not looking picture perfect.
Which was so crazy when you first told me about this, because literally I was doing that because I was just like, oh, like I had this happy moment, I had this happy moment, because in between I'm in school, like living on a like $5 a day budget, trying to stay away, commuting to school. Like I was not miserable in my personal life, which was the one thing that I really displayed, but I was so miserable being in school and everything. Like, I know everybody, a lot of people had like the college experience, and I did that a little bit, but as much as I loved high school, I did not love college.
Right. And so it takes discernment to know, like, when are people using this tool for good or for bad? Or when is this person actually self-absorbed or just trying to, like, keep an image out? Maybe for their own motivation. Maybe this is like their online scrapbook where they only want to see the positive moments because they got other things to, like, deal with or whatever, right? So I feel like this is a great testimony because I am not an envious person. If you do know me, you know that I come on very confident, strong. I view myself as a leader.
She is.
And I definitely, like, it was a shock to me that this girl who I had thrown a surprise birthday party for in high school
when I was 17
and thought that, you know, we would be those friends because there's a lot of, like, we have some good chemistry going. Why am I getting these little voices of, like, haterade? Like, I'm not a jealous person. I don't believe in jealousy. Like, none of that. But I definitely went through a journey. It was like the way that she used social media, because I really don't know a lot of people. She was like a catalyst for me to, like, go through all the things that probably people go through all the time, where it's like you look at someone's page and it makes you doubt yourself, and it makes you think that, well, what do they have that I don't have? And just all those things. Because if you look for evidence in social media to see, like, what makes somebody's life, like, glamorous and out of reach, you could also take in the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna look for the things that makes their life realistic. Even though I don't have that much glamour right now, like, what are the things I can relate to? What are the things that I can imagine? If I'm gonna sit here and imagine all the bad stuff that she's hiding because she doesn't have it all together, like, maybe I can also sit here and imagine what are all, like, real moments that, like, she's struggling with because she doesn't have it all together, you know,
and
that I can
that
relate to.
was really why I wanted you to be able to come on here and share this, because I have not ever experienced probably anyone that has felt one way and then literally pulled themselves out of that to recognize, or at least give themselves the opportunity to figure out what is real versus maybe what they might feel. And I just want to commend you for doing that and having the strength to literally come to me and tell me, this is, like, how I perceived you and what it made me feel like. And I was able to get through that on my own and come back, be your friend. And we literally have a great friendship that I'm thankful for.
Thank you.
So, yeah.